Hey everyone, it's Kyle. Azora Hype. Happy Friday, and yeah, it's time to get hype everyone. Season 1 of The Witcher is finally here. This video is a review for Episode 1, The End's Beginning, but before we jump further into the video, I want to welcome everyone to the channel whether you're new to the world of The Witcher, or you love the books and have played the games. I'm super excited to be reviewing each and every episode of The Witcher, but I'm also hyped to be doing other content as well, in the form of book versus show content in the style of comparative analysis videos. I thought it would be cool to create a nice mix of content featured on the channel, and I'm going to put it in a playlist in the form of weekly Witcher podcasts, character profiles, Witcher monster videos, and Witcher live streams. So if you're new to the channel and you're excited as I am to get in the world of The Witcher, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on the daily videos on the channel. Episode 1 of The Witcher is an excellent first installment in the series, splitting it up into two main plot points. We get the retelling of the short story The Lesser Evil, which is featured in the first book, The Last Wish, and the main overarching plot of the conflict between the northern kingdom of Cintra and the power-hungry southern empire of Nilfgaard. The episode starts off with a bang and a cold open showing Geralt of Rivia fighting a Kikamora, a massive and repulsive insectoid creature often found in swamps. It's a thrilling introduction to the series showcasing Geralt's very particular set of skills. We see Geralt kill the Kikamora as we're treated to a close-up on his face with black eyes and his veins throbbing through his pale face. This is actually really exciting because it means this series is going to focus on the finer details like how Geralt takes potions and uses alchemy so that he can see in the dark, resist poisons, give him enhanced reflexes, but also poison him as well. A good chunk of the episode takes place in Blaviken where we see Geralt looking for an alderman, the person who put up the bounty for a monster. This is where things start to get really interesting as we see how humans treat Witchers despite the service they provide in killing monsters. We see a fight almost break out when Geralt is trying to get a nice cold beer, but Renfri steps in and tells her men to back off. In this scene, we see that humans view Geralt as a monster, but Renfri doesn't see him that way because she's different too. It's quite clear that she knows what a Witcher is and sees an opportunity to make him an offer for a contract and why he should rid Blaviken of Stregobor the Wizard, or in Renfri's mind, the Lesser Evil. Next we see the little girl Marika take Geralt to the wizard's tower within the town, saying that Stregobor will buy the carcass of the beast despite the bounty being for a graver, a different type of monster than a Kikamora. As Geralt walks through the door to witness the beautiful illusion of naked women and greenery within Stregobor's manse, we find out that the bounty was just a setup for something else, so that he could hire Geralt to a contract to kill a different type of monster in his eyes, in Renfri. Stregobor isn't wrong in that humans can be the worst kind of monsters, but the reason he wants Renfri dead is actually because of a prophecy, the prophecy of the curse of the Black Sun. The Black Sun is in reference to an eclipse better known in context to the Curse of the Black Sun or the Mania of Mad Altibol. It was a prophecy made by the mage Altibol that foretold the end of human civilization in the hands of 60 girls born during or after an eclipse. Wizards hunted down the girls, killed them, and performed autopsies when it was possible, and after a while when they admitted that recognizing the girls was hard, they opted to simply lock them into towers to isolate them as well. It's no coincidence we hear this reference later on in the episode when Musak and Ciri are having a conversation on lockdown in Cintra when he says,
Many, many years ago, sorcerers were known to lock little girls in towers. I'm beginning to understand why.
You know cautionary tales don't work on me.
The girls were said to be cursed. They were said to announce the end of the human race.
Ooh.
But despite both of their arguments, Geralt sees the world very differently. It's clear he has a deeply rooted morality and understands the consequences of picking a side. It's true, Geralt kills monsters, even though humans can be the worst kind of monsters. There is a cynicism to Geralt's worldview which fits the narrative of this episode perfectly. We can see this highlighted pretty clearly in that Renfri wants revenge on Stregobor and Stregobor wants to kill Renfri and end their rivalry. Geralt also mentions the wise words of one of my favorite characters and fellow Witcher Vesemir in that Witchers shouldn't play at being white knights. However, Renfri cannot forgive Stregobor as her life has been completely changed. She's no longer a princess, and her life has been filled with tragedy and turned upside down. It's impossible for her to move on with her life despite Geralt's recommendations. Both Renfri and Stregobor's actions force Geralt's hand after a steamy encounter with Renfri in the wild just outside of Blaviken. He comes to the realization that what Renfri told him, it's a lie, and that she truly doesn't intend to leave. Essentially, what she's going to do is escalate the situation to its final conclusion, which would result with either her death or Stregobor's. But it's clear, even though Geralt doesn't want to choose a side, he can't allow this to happen, as it will endanger the people of Blaviken in the process. The fight scene was brilliantly choreographed, and while I had always been confident in the choice of Henry Cavill and it was going to be good for the series, boy, this episode reinforced that idea. This was truly some of the best swordplay I've ever seen in any movie or TV show, including Game of Thrones and Star Wars. And it's only the first episode of the series. We see Geralt carve through Renfri's gang using his sword, and also knocking a couple of them back using a blast of kinetic magic, which fans of the Witcher games will recognize as the art sign. Geralt also tries to use the sign of Axii to avoid more bloodshed, but fails because of her magical resistance. The Axii sign is a simple magic sign that is hypnotic in nature, and it's often used to calm people and creatures down by manipulating their minds, much like the Jedi mind trick we see used in the Star Wars movies. But the duel is over quite quickly. It's intense and as brutal as the one where her friends were cut down earlier. The scene serves its purpose to show us that Renfri isn't wrong in what she says. They created me just as they created you. They were both forced into making a choice despite being right or wrong. Stregobor's final words to Geralt serve as a haunting reminder and foreshadowing that his journey will be filled with difficult choices and where he will have to choose a side. There is something more to all of this as Renfri tells Geralt she is your destiny in reference to Ciri, the girl in the woods. And it's quite clear that Geralt wants to resist this destiny and parts of the world around him, but Geralt aggravates this by killing Renfri and what he says to Stregobor, contradicting himself from what he stated earlier in the episode. This thread connects us to the other plot point in the episode, in that Queen Calanthe wants to resist the notion that Nilfgaard is truly coming to destroy Cintra and take Ciri. And Ciri is resisting the fact that the life she's had where she's always been protected is now gone. Cintra is portrayed as this beautiful and lavish kingdom behind its high walls. There's a peacefulness about it. However, we see Queen Calanthe get the word from her scout that Nilfgaard has arrived and there will be war. We don't get much time with Queen Calanthe and King Ice from Skellige, who is one of my favorite characters from the short story A Question of Price featured in The Last Wish, but I felt like Laura Hisrich did a great job at making them likable and relatable during the time we saw them on the screen. The war between Cintra and Nilfgaard is something that we're going to see much more of during Season 1. It's part of the core plot point we see in the first novel, Blood of Elves. We're introduced to Ciri, played by the beautiful Freya Allan, the lion cub of Cintra, and it's quite clear from the moment we're introduced to her that she's quite special. There's a nice mix of raw emotion and wit subtly shown in the scenes between her and Ice, and also between her and Musak. And without spoiling too much, she is a big part of the reason why Nilfgaard is invading Cintra. It all connects to the prophecy that Stregobor spoke of earlier in the episode, the Curse of the Black Sun, but also very importantly to what Ice tells Queen Calanthe at the feast before the big battle.
I saw the wraiths of Moorhog over the channel this morning.
Yes, you mentioned, eh?
No good will come of it. They're an omen of war.
The North has been at war since Nilfgaard took Ebbing. If legend is true, the Wild Hunt's years behind the curve.
Ice talks about seeing the race of Moorhog, but this can actually be quite confusing because it's a Skellige name for a group of frost specters hunting Ciri called the Wild Hunt in The Witcher 3. Ciri is part of a greater prophecy called the White Frost, which we will discuss in another more detailed video. But it's quite clear, Nilfgaard is there for Ciri, and as we see Cahir, a Nilfgaardian soldier, captures her as Laszlo and her try to escape the city. We do see Ciri escape later on and use her untapped raw power to move and shake the earth to Cahir's disbelief, showcasing why she is so special and also dangerous. The timeline of what's happening in episode 1 can be quite confusing because there's a lot of moving parts, but the first episode does a job teaching us a lesson about what's to come. Is there such thing as a lesser evil? Can we put a price on honor and can it be bought? Can we truly not pick a side when presented with difficult choices? This is highlighted by the themes of family, humanity, love, and destiny, which is why the law of surprise, which is prevalent in the books, will make a big impact in the show. Some of the other things I feel that I should point out before ending this video is that the set and costume design, it just blew me away. This is coming from someone who watched 8 seasons of Game of Thrones and absolutely loved it. The colors in each scene felt vibrant, the armor was beautiful, the CGI was well done when Geralt used his magic and fought the Kikamora, and also during the big battle as well. Overall, I feel like this is one of the best first episodes I've seen for a TV show, giving us a major introduction to 2 of our main protagonists, and also setting up overarching plot points and future threads for us to speculate on. But what did you think of episode 1 of The Witcher? Did you like Henry Cavill as Geralt of Rivia? Are you ready to see more of the world of Witcher and characters like Yennefer and Ciri highlighted over the next few episodes? Leave your questions and thoughts in the comment section and let's get an epic discussion going. For those of you that made it this far, thanks for watching the video. I'm super excited to be creating daily Witcher videos on the channel. I'm going to be dropping an episode review for a day, so 8 episode reviews, and then we're going to be doing some other types of videos on the channel. Probably some speculation videos for Season 2, some Witcher book content giving the show some context as to what happened in Season 1, and also doing some live streams, taking some of your questions live, and doing some recorded podcasts so we can give you some fresh perspectives and kind of have fun debates on what we like and dislike in the show. And if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to subscribe as I'm going to have lots more videos coming on the channel featuring Witcher content. And if you do want to support the channel, you can share this video with your friends who love The Witcher or become a patron on Patreon. Signing up for Patreon really helps out the channel and allows me to keep making videos full time. Plus, I'll be doing fun polls, putting up audio versions of videos up early on Patreon for all the patrons of the channel, and also making some fun bonus content for Patreon for Witcher as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.